Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jackie Marie. So today I'm making a video about brain drain. And so what we are seeing with people leaving the healthcare field due to burnout or retirement or just resignation, things like that, what we're seeing is brain drain. And what that means is the knowledge that the experienced people have is leaving with them. So if you have someone who's been a nurse for 30 years, they have a lot of knowledge and now they're leaving. Who's going to train the new nurses? You understand? Because the new nurses, all they know is just, what they learned in the book, clinicals, just new things. They don't have that experience or that knowledge that an experienced nurse has. Same thing with a unit secretary. What I know and what you know as a new secretary is different. One of the things I always get is I get, like in the comments, is people wishing I was their trainer because I want you to succeed. That's the whole point. I mean, I train people. Don't get me wrong, but I wasn't like the trainer. Do you understand? And I'm just the type of person where I want you to know what I know. So I know a lot. I want you to know what I know. One of the things that I did not like about the training process, and it wasn't me or them. It was how me personally. I think that who I me personally, I think that the new secretary should train with the same person. So like they do that with the nurses. The nurses, you have a nurse who's a preceptor, and the new nurse would work the same schedule as whoever is precepting them. So they wouldn't just come in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and whoever was available would precept them. They don't do that with nurses. And I felt they shouldn't do that with secretaries as well, because one day you're training with, Sally Sue, the next day I work and you train with me. So you're going to learn two different things. Sally Sue is going to teach you maybe the shortcuts where it's not, you don't want to learn the shortcuts when you first learning something. You want to learn how to do it the long way and then do the shortcuts. So me personally, I'm going to teach you the shortcuts. And then I'm gonna teach you, tell you to take notes. I'm gonna go slow. So the first day you're gonna watch me, and then the next day, I have you in the driver's seat, and then I'll sit next to you, and I'm right there. But the way people train is different. The what you may come across with, like a situation you may come across with Sally Sue, because she don't really know, will tell you to do it this way or do this, where I know the situation, and I know, no, no, don't do it that way. That's not what it's, you got to do it this way. This is the right way. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because Sally Sue might not know. She just might not know and might guess. If I've been there 10 years, I have more knowledge than her. And she may have never come across that situation, but I have. So like with ordering the supplies. I always talked about the supplies and from Central Supply. What we called it in our system, like what we saw, and what Central Supply called it was two different things. So I always had this one nurse who would always come to me when she needed to order it. She was on our sister floor. She would find me. She would come find me. She was like, Jackie, can you order blah 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 for me? I mean, she will always come to me for that. And I remember one day I went up to her, I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I went up to her, I said, this is how you order it. Okay, this is, because she will always come to me because she knew that I was the only one who knew how to order, because it, like, for whatever reason, Jackie the only one, because it's just the way that system was set up. It was weird. I don't know why they had it all difficult. but I knew how to order it correctly, and then it will always come up. And so one day I just gave it to her. I wrote it down. I said, if you need to order this, this is what it's called in the system. And I gave her a piece of paper. I think I put it on her. Did I? No, no. I want to say I gave it to her, or maybe I told her. I think I went up to her and told her that I was going to slide it in her locker, because you know how the lockers have like little slits. I was going to slide it in there for her, because I think she might have been in the room with a patient. But it's just one of those things. She always came to me because she knew I knew. Them other secretaries didn't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because our knowledge is different. But I always took the time to, I knew how to order stuff. And even the lady in Central Supply with her mean behind, she used to always say she liked me because I was the only secretary that knew how to order stuff. Yeah, because I had to write it down because y'all system is weird. You know what I'm saying? And she like, I like you because you're the only one who knows how to order stuff. Yeah, because I ain't got no choice but to know it, because don't be mad at the other secretaries. The system is weird. You know what I'm saying? It's a flaw in the system. So, just the knowledge that people have, and when they leave or they resign or they retire or things like that, they lose that. And in the article, it was talking about how a nurse, she was a new nurse. Was she a new nurse? She was a Well, she didn't say she was a new nurse. She was just a nurse, and she got a job in the ER, and she was being her orientation was with a nurse that had been there only a year. So yeah, the nurse in the ER had been there a year, and yeah, she was with her for 6 weeks, but she only been there a year. You know what I'm saying? Like what what a nurse that's been there a year compared to a nurse that's been in that same hospital for 5 years. There's a difference in the knowledge. And so the nurse was talking about how, I'm being trained. I'm new to the hospital, and I'm being trained by someone who's new too. I mean, and that's not uncommon. That's not uncommon with just the staffing shortage and everything, because with the staffing shortage, everyone notices the the knowledge is not there. The patients notice, the doctors notice, everyone notice, and then when you have that knowledge that's not there, you don't trust each other more. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I, like, the one nurse that always came to me asking me how to order the one thing, she worked with the one secretary, and the one secretary actually finally got her license. She finally passed her boards. But why didn't she go to her? You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't trust her. She didn't trust her. She trusted me. Like, when you have the staffing shortage, and she knew, she understood that I had the knowledge. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why didn't the other girl know how to order stuff? Well, I already told you, because Central Supply said I'm the only one who had to order everything. But I'm just saying, like, can you like, what knowledge can you learn from somebody that's only been there a year? I mean, you can learn something. It's better than nothing. But you still got an issue, and the patients notice. And then, just from the knowledge, um, like when, like, a perfect example. I made the video talking about the day I worked in the ER. That's like one of my big videos, working in the ER. And the guy he was a new secretary, and he was being trained. But the person who was training him couldn't work that day because I think somebody died in their family, so they didn't come to work. And so they called me. I said I would work or something. I don't know. But anyway, I came in, and I had never worked in ER. I mean, I never worked in there. I barely went to the ER. And but they knew I had the knowledge. Okay, so I didn't know, I had never worked in ER, but I knew how to do everything. In ER, it had a different system as well, but I understood everything going on in the hospital. I understood the departments. I understood doctors to call. Do you understand? So when a consult came in or order came in to consult this doctor, I knew who the doctors were. I knew if that doctor usually comes around this time. Now the guy, he knew ER, he just didn't know it well enough to be on his own. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we had to work it out together. We worked together. But I had that knowledge from being in working in a hospital for God knows how many years. And I understood how the hospital ran. I understood. So that's like when I tell you, the ER is like a what's the word? Um, the patient the when they come to the ER, they're not an inpatient because they be looking for beds. They're it's like it's like an outpatient because you're not when you come to the ER, you're not admitted to the hospital. So it's like an outpatient facility. It's kind of like a clinic, kind of sorta. Um, it's more like an outpatient setting. That's why I said the system is different than the the rest of the hospital because it is a different. It's not considered the hospital. You gotta be admitted to the hospital. See, until you get that order, you ain't admitted because you can go home. You know what I'm saying? You go home. But he knew how to maneuver the ER. He just couldn't do it on his own. Whereas I had the knowledge, and that's how we were able to work together. That's what that knowledge does. That's how you keep the hospital running. When you got people with the knowledge leaving, you gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems. And I can I can I could see things coming a mile away. So like when I was so let's say I was in the ER, and even when I was on the med surge floor, we could see, even though I don't think I really did it too much in the on the med surge floor because it was just too busy. But like when I was in ICU, we can look and see what kind of patients were in the ER. So like we can see the patient's name, and like we can see who was in the ER. Let's put it like that. So we can see their name and we can see why they were there. That's pretty much all we cared about. Okay? Like, could I see their vitals and all that stuff? Yeah, but I don't care about that. And I ain't gonna click all. I don't care about that. What you here for? Okay? Because that way I know that you're coming, you could possibly come to our unit. You understand what I'm saying? If you are having chest pains, okay, you can either go to that floor over there or you can go to this floor. If you got a history of whatever, you might, you know what I'm saying? If you know, broke your leg, I know you're going to go to ortho, so I can kind of tell where the people were going to go in the hospital. You see, if you don't know that, if the person that's training you don't know that you can see that information, and then that way you can plan your day accordingly. Okay, so I see, goodness, we got like 3 people in the ER with chest pains. Do you understand? And we got 3 open beds. Okay, we got 3 open beds. They might come her. They might come her. You know what I'm saying? So I need to be on my P's and Q's and make sure, so they don't catch me slipping. But see, if you don't know that you can do that you can take a peek down in the ER and see what kind of patients are in the ER, then you won't be able to plan your day more accordingly. Same thing, we can see if it was a kid, because yeah, that's what we can see. We can see the name, the reason, and their age. We can see that. I mean, that's pretty much all you wanted to see. So if if it's a kid, well, we know they ain't coming to the ICU. You know what I'm saying? We know they ain't coming. They going to P's. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? It's like we could see that information. If you don't know, if no one ever taught you that, then you can be 2 steps ahead to plan your day more accordingly. There are a lot of things that I knew. That's why I was like always on top of everything. It seems like, damn, this girl is just like the truth, because I knew little things. It's always the little things that help you out. I knew that. so I knew how to plan accordingly. But it's just the knowledge. It call it just the knowledge that you will be able to see the difference. One of the things about the med surg floor, and I think one of the reasons why I knew so much, is the charge nurses on that floor have been there for a long time. And when I say a long time, I'm talking about 20 years. I think all of them. All of them. My favorite one was there like 20 some years. The one, they had beef. That's why I said, I made a video about picking sides. Like, do not pick sides, okay? Like, because you get there, you start as a new secretary, and then, it be stuff going on, and they want you to pick a side. Look, mind your business, because that ain't got nothing to do with you, okay? Because they been beefing for 10 years, okay? Like, that for real ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't even get involved. But, like, my favorite one, the other one that worked day shift, that third one, she was there like 20 years. So we had like three of them, because I think it was four of them. That one had been at the hospital like 10 years, but she was on pediatrics. They were going to fire her. They should have. But anyway, but they were going to fire her, but she got suspended or something. She was on probation, and they sent her up there because I guess they ran her up out of mother baby. But anyway, that's a whole other story. She was messy. But yeah, so 3 out of the 4 day shift charge nurses have been there for like 20 years. And then the night shift, I know that one, because when I went to my 5-year anniversary, she had been there for 25 years. I didn't even know she had been there that long. She didn't even look that old. So she must have been like I would have never thought she had been a nurse, that she had been at that hospital for 25 years. I would have never had thought that. I was like, what? And but yeah, so when I started, she was there for 20. I was like, she didn't look it. She did not look it, but 25. And then the other lady had been there, she might have been there 20. And this night shift. So you had a lot of charge nurses who had been there for a long time. They had all that knowledge, okay? They had all that, all on one floor. All on one floor. So you had at least 6 charge nurses that had been there for 20 plus years. Okay? And they knew everything about that floor. They knew stuff all about that hospital. That's how I knew all about that hospital. That's how I knew certain things. I knew how to look for certain things because they had that knowledge. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they've been there for a long time. And even when I went to the ICU, the one charge nurse, that was her only job. She started as when she was in nursing school, she was a CNA, and then she worked in the ER. She was like me. She worked all over the place, all over the hospital. But she was a charge nurse. That was the only, she got a pension. She had a pension there. We had a lot of nurses that had pensions there because they had been at the hospital for a long time. That's that knowledge. Look, they lose all that. Bro, I mean, even the Central Supply lady been there like 40 some years with her mean behind. She been there 40 some years. I'm like, you been here before I was born. But cause she one told me that she used to be a CNA on that floor on the med surg. I was like, what? you used to work over here, like, cause she told me stuff, cause she liked me, cause I was the only one who knew how to order stuff. Oh, but yeah, I mean, do you understand the knowledge? So that's why I knew how to do a lot of things, because I would listen. I would listen to them. I ain't had time for all that foolishness, and I would listen to them, and I would ask questions, and I would pick their brains, and they knew. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I knew about the ER, and I could look in the ER. I'm pretty sure I did. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I did. I know I did all the time in ICU, because ICU is much slower. And then on our sister floor, I probably take a peek every now and then, see what's going on down there, especially during the summer when it got slow, because the snowbirds will leave, and things like that. And trying to see who was in the ER, we get a patient, things like that. But like, if you don't know, if you don't know those things, if somebody like me were to leave, and you know the next senior, been there 3 years, their 3 years compared to all my years is different. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's one of the issues that healthcare is facing. They're facing the brain drain, and they're facing it because people are leaving and they're taking their knowledge elsewhere, or like I said, they're retiring and going to the house, or things like that. Like my mom's been a nurse for probably 40 years by now, because she came right out of high school being a nurse, and my mom is, she been about 40, 50. She been a nurse for a long, long time. And yeah, because I'm in my 40s, and she was a nurse, you know. So yeah, golly, she been a nurse a long time. But yeah, I mean, she gonna lose that knowledge. My mom always trains. She's always a preceptor because she has that knowledge. And she's one of those. My mom has that knowledge. She has a good work ethic. That's where me and my sister get it from. Have a good work ethic, and she is a teacher. Now, she don't want she one of them nurses that don't want to be charge nurse. You know how they want you to be charge nurse. She ain't got time for the foolishness. Most nurses don't. But she don't mind training because she want you to be trained correctly. Just like me. That's I get it from my mom. I want you. Now I ain't trying to be training every day now, okay? But I don't mind training. Um, because I want you to do it right. I want you to succeed. So, yeah, that's what the hospitals and the clinics and all are facing right now. They're facing the brain drain. And that's all I got for you today. If you got any questions or comments, you can put them below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.